Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hey, 2025 holiday season is upon us and it's a fantastic time. Or is it? Because this is also a time when a lot of people have some trouble and when it comes to their emotional and psychological well-being. I want to go through and talk about some of that and give you some hacks and things that can help. But it's definitely a two-edged sword. The holiday season for some people is a time of great joy, but also it's a time of maybe frustration or depression or anxiety. And there's a lot of things we're going to talk about that you can really do to mitigate some of that. But let's first identify what are some of the things they're saying about the emotional impact on the holiday. What are some of the studies out there showing? Well, I was kind of encouraged by some of this, not all of it, but some of it, because when it comes to the emotional impact of the holidays, a survey, one study in my blog, which of course is on my website, you're going to want to read on this because it's got some great detail, said that positive emotions, 78% of the people reported feelings more joy and excitement during the holiday season. That's fantastic. Stress levels, though, 38% said they had an increased level of stress during the holidays, according to some of the studies. And loneliness, 28% of the people felt more lonely during the holidays, despite the fact that typically there's more interaction. That's kind of not unusual, though, for a lot of people, especially for the elderly. Psychological effects of the holiday. This was pretty interesting. Depression rates showed a 64% increase in depression diagnoses during the holiday season. 64%, pretty high. Anxiety symptoms, 52% reported more anxiety during this time. I think it's because of the hustle and bustle. I'm not sure, but I think that's probably most of it. Maybe it's because they're getting with their relatives too. That might be it. Positive reflection. This is a good thing though. 67% of the individuals said they felt they were more personally reflecting on their life in goal setting. Kind of good to know. The next thing is the spiritual dimensions of the holiday celebrations. Now, this was pretty fascinating. A whopping 72% said they felt more spiritually connected during the holiday season, especially Christmas. 72%. Religious stress, though, 31% said they experienced stress-related religious expectations or conflicts. I don't know if it's because of church, getting to church, relatives, maybe they feel guilty if they don't get to church. And then 45% of the people said they engage in more mindful practices or meditation during the holiday season. Kind of interesting. Maybe they need that because they're getting with family or maybe they just have time. I don't know. Emotional coping strategies. Now, here's some coping strategies or some hacks that I think can help emotionally. Practice gratitude. The reason for the season is Jesus, and it's about giving, and it's about the gift. And I think when it's more blessed to give than to receive, right? Being grateful for what you have is so important. Being grateful for the blessings you have. Set some realistic expectations. People go way too crazy about Christmas, what they think the perfect Christmas should be like, and they have this idea in their minds, this construct of what Christmas is supposed to be, and it's not. Okay? And it doesn't have to be that way at all. It's just being made up. Maintain your routines, especially when it comes to sleep. Don't skimp on that, and make sure you maintain your exercise regimen. Very important. You don't want to skip on some of that. Even though it's a holiday season, people say, oh, I'm too busy. Well, you're not too busy for your health, that's for sure. Psychological hacks during the holiday season. Number one, use some mindfulness practices. There's a lot of apps out there. There's a lot of help. People like having some of that to really help them keep calm. And there's a lot of apps out there. There's one called Headspace. There's a whole bunch of them. Practice cognitive reframing. This is where you take some of the negative thoughts during the holiday and kind of reframe them into positive. And it can be done. There's a lot of good hacks out there on that too. Engage in acts of kindness. Like I said before, gratitude comes from giving, right? It's more blessed to give than receive. So during the holiday season, try to give more than what you get. Try to reach out to people that are really hurting and that you can make a difference to, whether it's be volunteering in a soup kitchen or going to a nursing home, going to the hospital, whatever you can do to help some of the people that are hurting. It's going to make you feel better, help you deal with your psychological stuff going on that maybe would really help open up some avenues for you. And spiritual tips. This is the last thing for a more meaningful season. Go to church. For my Christian brothers and sisters and Jewish friends, they practice Hanukkah. For Christians, go to church and worship with your fellow brothers and sisters and see the reason for the season. Go there, and most churches have beautiful decorations during that time of year, but also the liturgies are very full with a lot of people that are just joyful. It's a great time. Develop some meaningful traditions during the holiday season. I come from a family of 8. We had my grandparents lived within a few miles of our house, and aunts and uncles. We had a lot of traditions during Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve. We had a lot of things we did that were part of our traditions. So important. Practice some mindful consumption. Focus on experiences rather than material goods. Too many people get caught up at Christmas time about the material part. It's really more about, your focus should be on your experience, not so much the gifts. Connect with nature. Sounds crazy, but it really isn't. Maybe you can get some outdoor activities in to really connect with those people that you love. And sometimes when you get away from all the media, get away from all the TVs and go out for a walk, you can really start to share heart to heart. So hope those tips help. It's a very joyful time of year. It's all going to be a very stressful time of year, but you decide how you want to make it. So have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and God bless.